Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everybody who is watching Perlis online teaching YouTube channel. So today we are back again, okay, in another English lesson. This time around with me, teacher FATIN NABILA binti FADZIL, or for short, teacher FATIN. Okay, so before we proceed, let us recite, okay, a prayer first, okay, before we start the lesson.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم أغننا بالعلم وزينا بالحلم وأكرمنا بالتقوى وجملنا بالعافية يا رحمن يا رحيم kami mohon kepadamu dengan segala kerendahan diri sebagai hamba-Mu. Engkau indahkanlah akhlak kami. Engkau perbaikilah pergaulan antara kami. Engkau jadikanlah kami umat Islam yang menjadi teladan yang baik antara sekalian manusia. Engkau peliharalah kami dari penyakit lemah, malas, berfikiran dangkal dan buruk budi pekerti. Ya Rahman, Ya Wadud, Engkau baikilah keluarga kami, anak isteri kami, saudara mara kami, jiran tetangga kami dan seluruh mereka yang kami kasihi. Engkau jadikanlah kami umat yang mempunyai ketinggian akal dan budi, mempunyai minda yang unggul dalam menguruskan kehidupan ini dan menjadi teladan yang baik kepada manusia yang lain. Ya Allah, jadikanlah negeri Perlis ini sebagai negeri yang makmur, rakyatnya hebat, mantap, bermentaliti kelas pertama dalam tindakan, hidup bersih, bersatu padu dan dilimpahi berkat serta rahmat dari sisi-Mu. Engkau jauhkanlah kami dari bala dan kerosakan. Engkau tambahkanlah nikmat-Mu kepada kami. Engkau berikanlah kepada kami kebahagiaan hidup di dunia dan di hari akhirat. Ya mujibas sa'ilin, permudahkanlah urusan kami dalam menimba ilmu pengetahuan. Lapangkanlah dada dan terangkanlah hati kami untuk memahami isi pengajaran. Hiasilah diri kami dengan adab kesopanan. Muliakanlah kami dengan ketakwaan. Segarkanlah badan kami dengan kesihatan yang berpanjangan. Dan berkatilah hidup kami dengan keredaan-Mu. Allahumma inna na'udzu bika minal barasi wal jununi wal judham wa min sayyi'il asqam. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Okay, amin, 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 ya Rabbal Alamin. Okay, so before we proceed, to those who are watching us, please make sure that you fill in the links, okay, the links of attendance given onto medium or platform. Okay, the first one will be on YouTube. So to those who are watching us on YouTube, please fill in the attendance links, okay, and then those who are join us via Google Meet, okay, please do so with the link shared with you, okay, through the chat box. Okay, I'm just going to give you about 10 seconds to do so. Okay, so we shall start now. All right, the topic for today's lesson, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So what is it about? Can you actually guess? Is it a story, or is it a song that you have to listen to, or is it something that you need to comprehend? Okay, so to know about that further, stay tuned with us. Okay, I'm just going to show you. Okay, before we start, I hope that everyone is doing great so far. Okay, before you come back to school and join us. So for now, we are still learning through online. So hoping that you guys are ready for today's lesson and that you are all excited to know what we have in store for you today. Okay, so for today's activities, we are going to look at three things, okay, three matters here. The first one will be a format of speaking paper, okay, for lower form students, Form 1, Form 2 and Form 3. I do believe that all of you know that you will have a speaking paper for your PT3, okay, and also for SPM later, but now we will focus on your journey towards PT3, okay, or that now you're in Form 3, yeah, you should know this, all right. So we are going to look at that format. And then we are going to also look at the assessment skills, which is very important because you have to know what we are assessing you, okay, for your speaking skills. And last but not least, we will go further to describing pictures, which will be the main agenda for today's lesson. Okay, so shall we start? Hoping that you guys are ready. All right, so let's look at the format first. Speaking test format, paper 3. Okay, the things that you should know is that for this particular speaking test, I know it's quite nervous when it comes to speaking, but then again, you should just relax and stay calm. Why? Because for this particular paper, you will be working in pairs. So you will have a partner with you. Less nerve-wracking, right? Okay, so for speaking test, there are two of you, and we will address you as candidate A and candidate B throughout the test. Okay, there will be two assessors, okay, examiners, I will say. The first one will be the interlocutor, which will be your teacher, your English teacher who is teaching you in that particular year. Okay, and another one will be the assessor. The assessor will be another English teacher from your school, or if you are lucky, you might get another personnel, okay, from LPM, Lembaga Pemeriksa Malaysia, if you're lucky. Okay, so there will be two personnel who will be assessing you. So for speaking paper, okay, for PT3, we will have three parts. Okay, part 1, part 2 and part 3. So for part 1, you will be given, or you will be asked some general questions. Okay, I will call it like a very short interview. It's just for you to warm up before we proceed with part 2 and part 3. So you will get simple questions like, what do you do at your free time? Very simple, right? You can simply answer, I go fishing, okay, or I read books. Something positive to do, okay, so that's basically it. So both of you will get a different question, of course, but that will be very simple and very easy for you to answer, to respond to. So you both are given around 1 minute each, okay, or less than 1 minute usually, because it will only take 2 to 3 minutes for part 1. Okay, so very easy, very simple, not to worry. It's something like you're chatting with a teacher. That's it, all right? So the second part, which will be the focus for today, it is known as long turn. Okay, for long turn, you are given around 4 to 5 minutes, okay, both of you. For this part, both of you will get a series of pictures, okay? Candidate A will get one set and candidate B will get another different set. So your task for part 2 will be, you will have to describe pictures, okay? Not just describe, you need to come up with a story out of them, okay? So you get a series of pictures. But again, not to worry, there are several techniques that I will be sharing with you today so that it will be less nerve-wracking for you, okay, to proceed with this part, and hopefully that you can use that throughout the test, okay, so that you can apply the skills later. Alright, so that's for part 2. And then for part 3, it is known as collaborative task. Okay, for this part, both of you will get one particular task where you have to do discussion. So it's like chatting with your friend, but in a very formal setting, because this is a speaking test, remember? So for this part, both of you are given 3 minutes. Okay, so you have to discuss, both of you will chat and discuss the topic together for 3 minutes. So that's basically the speaking test, okay, paper 3 for English language lower form. Okay, I hope that you're familiar with this format. Okay, so remember our focus today will be part 2. Okay, long term, or I usually call it as telling stories. Okay, because you have to tell story from the pictures given. Okay, so that's that. Hoping that it's clear. All right. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Okay. Don't be shy because we need to know this. Okay. All right. So next will be the assessment skills. So what are we looking at? Okay. When you talk or speak together with your pair. So we are assessing you with four criteria. Okay. In four criteria. Sorry. So the first criteria will be grammar. Okay. Of course. When you talk about telling stories for part 2 especially, we usually use past tense. Okay, for stories. So we are looking at that, whether you are using the right one, okay, the right tense, okay, and whether your sentence structure is okay and easy for us to comprehend, okay, and for your partner to comprehend as well, because remember there are two of you, so it's like conversation, okay, so each and every one of you must understand, okay, your partner in order to proceed with the test. So grammar part, 5 marks, okay. The second one will be vocabulary, also 5 marks. So for vocabulary, we are looking at your range of vocabulary that you have, but this one I don't really it's not that I don't encourage you, it's just that you don't have to come up with a bombastic word to describe certain things, okay. You can use something that you have, okay, something simple, just for people to understand you, okay. The point is people need to understand you when you describe a picture, or when you tell stories, or when you talk to your partner. So as long as we can understand you, meaning that the vocabulary that you use is appropriate, okay, is good for the conversation to go on. Okay, so that one 5 marks. Remember, don't go for bombastic words. Okay, if you have advanced words that you can use, good, but make sure that you use it right. Okay, you use it correctly so that your partner can understand you as well. Okay, so that's for vocabulary. And then for the third criteria, communicative competence, this is important. Okay, also 5 marks. For this part, we look at whether you can initiate, okay, whether you can start a conversation, especially for part 3, okay, where either of you can start the conversation. So whether you can start, and then whether you can develop your ideas, okay, especially for part 2, this one, yeah, whether you can tell stories by looking at that pictures, okay, and then whether you can maintain the conversation with your partner, and whether you can close the conversation nicely and appropriately. So that's what we are looking at. And another thing is we also look at your pauses, okay, whether you hesitate to talk, okay, or whether you need more prompting, okay, prompting meaning some helps from the teachers, okay, the teachers, the interlocutor who will be helping you out, okay, who will be asking the question to you. So if you need more prompting, meaning you will have problem with your communicative competence marks, okay, but hopefully it will not happen, okay, as long as you can go on, you can, utter sentences, okay, come up with utterances, okay, you can describe the picture, you can talk to your friend, okay, have a conversation, things will be all right, okay, not to worry much about that, okay, I believe it will be just fine, okay, so that one is 5 marks, okay. Last but not least, overall spoken performance, okay, for overall spoken performance, we look at your overall performance, whether you can, like I said just now, whether you can initiate a conversation, whether you can close it well, whether you can continue talking to your friends, and then answering and understanding the task given to you, understand the questions given by the interlocutor or your partner. So that would be the overall spoken performance, another 5 marks for you. Okay, so the divisions of marks for the interlocutor will only give you marks for criteria 4. Overall spoken performance. That means your teacher only have 5 marks to be given to you. How about the rest of the criteria? So criteria 1, 2 and 3, this one belongs to the assessor. Okay, the assessor have the right to give you marks for these criteria. Okay, the 3 one, grammar, vocabulary and communicative competence. Okay, the assessor will not be asking you anything, will not be having any conversation with you. They will just sit behind the interlocutor a bit far, okay, just to listen to the whole conversation, okay, and then to assess you. All right, so that's basically how it is. Okay, the assessment skills. You might want to understand this and then try to ask your teacher if you're not clear about this, okay, because it is very important to know which part that we are assessing you, okay, to score better. Okay, remember this is a test, all right, so speaking test. Okay, so that's for assessment skills. I hope that it is clear to all of you. Okay, as I said just now, if you have any question, feel free to ask. Okay, next. Now, we focus on our agenda, the main agenda today. So it will be describing pictures. Okay, describing pictures for part 2, if it is according to speaking paper. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, this is a warm-up session just to get the idea, roughly the idea how to describe a picture. Okay, so let's say if you get this particular picture, it's just one picture, okay, with so many characters in it. Okay, so how do you describe this kind of picture? Would you go straight and say, this is a picture of people cleaning, okay, doing some cleaning? Would you go straight to that? Or would you simply say, I see from the picture, there are people cleaning their house? How do you start? Do you start that way? Okay, so I'm here to help you out on how to describe the picture properly and how to begin describing the picture, and what are some of the techniques that you can use in order to come up with ideas when you're trying to describe the picture. Okay, during the test you will only be given around 15 to 20 seconds, okay, to look at the picture, and then you need to proceed with telling stories. Okay, you begin telling stories during the test, so it's a very short time. Okay, but don't worry, as long as you have the technique, okay, and you do a lot of practices, okay, things will be okay. All right, not to worry. So that's why I'm here today, just to help you out. Okay, hoping that it is useful for all of you. Okay, so how do we do this? Let's see. Now, first thing first, what you should do when you get a picture, look at the situation in the picture. Okay, you can use WH question. Yes, you can ask yourself, okay, so what is happening in the picture? Where does this take place? Okay, when does this happen? So you can ask yourself this WH question. Why? Because WH question is actually something that is very helpful. They help you to come up with ideas. Okay, sorry. So they help you to come up with ideas. When you have this WH question in mind, things will come to you, the ideas. Okay, so for instance, if you ask yourself, what is happening in the picture? So you look at it. You see people are cleaning. Some are holding mops, okay, and then a cloth, okay, probably wiping the table, and then a duster, okay, and also people cleaning up somewhere near the door. Okay, so that's basically the situation. So you can come up with ideas like, okay, they are at home. So that one is answering the question where. So where does this happen? At home. If you want to be more specific, you can say they are in the living room. Why? You can see in the picture there's a television and also a set of sofa. Okay, so that's basically a living room. Okay, and then what are they doing? Answering the question what? So they are cleaning the house. Yes. When? Answering the question when. So you can say this happened at the weekend. Okay, so that's roughly how it is. So that's the first thing, yeah. You have to look at the situation and you have to understand what is happening in the picture first. So the situation here is that they are cleaning the house. Okay, so these are the suggested ideas that you can come up with by using the WH question just now. Okay, so once you know the situation, they are doing some cleaning, we go to the next step. Okay, the second one will be look at the characters. Okay, of course you have to mention people who do the activity. Okay, so in this case, when you look at the characters in the picture, you ask yourself, who are these people? So what are they doing? Okay, in order to answer this, you can actually give names to the characters. You can be more specific. Okay, or perhaps you want to make them related to one another. Okay, since they are in the same house, so perhaps they are family. Okay, family members. And then you need to state each of their action. Yes, that's the main thing. Okay, that is how you describe a picture. You look at them, you look at what they're doing. So in this case, the characters, just now you already look at the situation, which is they are cleaning the house. Okay, now you look at the characters. Okay, like I said, you can give them names. If you want to look at them from the third point of view, so you might want to give names to the person in spectacle, perhaps Mr. Ahmad. Okay, Mr. Ahmad and his family, okay, are cleaning the house. You can say that. or you can make it more specific, more personal. You can actually claim that these people is your family members. Okay, these people are your family members. Sorry. Okay, so you can do that. For me, personally, I suggest that you make it more personal, because when you talk about your own experience or when you relate it to you yourself, it is easier to come up with ideas as well, because you can describe things that you have done, or you can, remember things that you have done before at home with your family. So you can elaborate more on that. Okay, so that's better. So make it personal. It can be that way, or you might want to look at it from the third point of view. That's also okay. All right, so what do we come up with this? Okay, so family members, you can say that you have the father and mother and also your siblings. Okay, and then you can describe each and every action that they do. So perhaps the father and mother, they are mopping the floor, as you can see in the picture, and then the sister is wiping the table, and then the brother is doing some dusting. Okay, so that's basically how you look at the action that they are doing. So that's how you describe the action. You have to be very precise. Okay, in this case, it is quite simple actually, because you can see that they are mopping the floor. So you have the word mop. So verb, okay, make it a verb. Okay, mop or mopping the floor, the father and mother. Okay, and then you include the characters, like I said. Okay, father and mother mopping the floor, sister wiping the table, brother dusting, some cobwebs perhaps. Okay, so that's the second step. Okay, identify the characters and also their action. So the first one just now, situation, you look at the whole situation, and then the second one, you identify the characters and what they are doing. Okay, so hoping that you follow me for now. Okay, so the third one, be specific. When you say that they are doing this at the weekend, okay, perhaps last weekend, okay, a family was cleaning their house, okay, they were cleaning the living room, make it more specific. So weekend, which weekend? So choose one. So in this case, I choose Sunday, okay, because I guess Sunday everyone is at home. So last Sunday, my family, see, I make it more specific by making it my family. So I'm looking at them and making it more personal, okay, so I choose to use my family. So last Sunday, my family was cleaning our house. Okay, we begin with the living room. So I'm making it more specific. I'm making it personal. Okay, and so instead of just simply say they are cleaning the house or they were cleaning the living room, I can say we begin with the living room. Okay, be specific. Okay, so that's the third step. Okay, you have to make it more specific, make it personal. Okay, next. All right. You can add more details to make it more interesting. Of course, when we tell stories, some people, they usually use the word exaggerating. Okay, they exaggerate just to make it more interesting and fun. So in this case, we add more details. So what are the details that we can add? Let's say the father and mother just now, they were mopping the floor. Okay, that's very clear and that's direct, okay, but what about the sister? Okay, my sister, for instance. So I'm not saying the girl was cleaning the table, I make it more specific. I say my sister, and I even put the name there. My sister Alia was wiping the table with a cloth. Okay, so I add more detail. She's wiping the table with a cloth. Or I can also say that the table is a coffee table. So I can say my sister Alia was wiping the coffee table with a cloth. So it's very specific, it is very detailed, okay, and then people who are listening to you, they can imagine without looking at the picture actually. So that's the best part of this, okay, that's the best part of making it specific and add more details to it, okay. So hoping that you get that, okay. Next. Okay, add feelings too. Yes, of course. When we do something, okay, when we tell stories, feelings must be included. Okay, I would say feelings must be included. It's just like the way you read a story. Okay, you have feelings in it, you have actions, you have details, something that you can imagine. So that's how it is when it comes to story. So you can add feelings in this case. Okay, so that's the fifth step. So what are the feelings that you can add in? Of course, it should be something positive. So in this case, I have listed 4, okay, suggested feelings that you can add in. So Perhaps you feel energetic because everyone is in at home, okay, doing all these things together. It's like a family time kind of thing. So energetic, okay. You can also add something simple as excited, you are happy, okay, it's very enjoyable, okay. Or you can say that you are tired, but we usually come with the next thing that we put next to tired will be something positive, which means, yes, we were tired, but we are very excited because we were doing this with our family members. It's like spending time, bonding time together, okay? So, yes, add feelings, don't forget that. So, it will make it more interesting to hear you telling stories like this, okay, with details, very specific, and with feelings. Okay, so the outcome of the product of applying all of these steps, okay, will be, look something like this, okay. This one I write it out for you, just for you to see the clear idea, the clear picture of how you describe a picture, okay. But of course, during the test, you will not be able to come up with this, of course, because you have not much time given, okay. Everything will be in here, but remember, like I said, with practice, okay, you'll be able to do so. So this is basically the rough idea of the product that will come up with you applying this step. So it will look or sounds like this, okay. Last Sunday, my family was cleaning our house. We started cleaning the living room first, okay. My father and mother were mopping the floor. My older sister Alia was wiping the coffee table with a cloth, okay. My little brother and sister were scrubbing the door grill with a sponge. See, I make it more specific, okay. I also helped by dusting off the cobwebs using a cleaning duster. Okay, I even mentioned the tool used, okay, for them to clean up the house, okay. Once done, this is where I conclude everything. Once done, we were all tired but happy that our house was clean. Okay, this one is actually very simple. When you say it out loud, okay, it will just take around less than 1 minute actually, okay, but the process of coming up with this idea, that is the most challenging part, okay. That is why I'm sharing with you all of these tips, okay, what you can do in order to come up with these ideas, okay. So everything will be in here. Yes, we do not see the process, but I hope that it helps you out, okay, when you get the picture. So this one, we only have one picture to describe, okay, so it's a bit easy, okay. But if you feel that this is too much for you to do, not to worry, okay, there's another way for you to make it more simple, okay. So we will look at that afterwards, so stay tuned, please stay tuned, okay. Hoping that so far it is clear on how to describe a picture. So remember the 5 things just now. Look at the situation, okay, identify the characters and also their actions, okay, and then be specific, add some interesting details, and last but not least, okay, the 5th one will be add feelings, okay, just to make it more interesting to hear, okay. So that's that for the first part. Now, just to test you out, okay, before we proceed, if you have any questions, okay, whether you need time to understand or whether you totally understood it, so you're fine with it, that's good, okay, or you need time to understand, then okay, you can always, you know, rewatch the video for you to get the idea. Or some will say that they'll try their best to try this technique, okay, good to hear that, and some, they're not sure whether they still they can understand this or not, okay, whether they can apply these techniques or not. But not to worry, as I said, if you have any question, feel free to ask throughout the session. Okay, so just to test whether you are able to apply the techniques or not, okay, let us try something else, okay, shall we? Let's take a look at another picture. What if you get a series of pictures? So in this case, okay, if you can see, there are 4 pictures, okay, this one number 1, okay, this one number 2, this will be number 3, and then this one will be the 4th picture. So there are 4 pictures altogether, okay. Let's say you get this picture during the test or during your practice. So can you apply all the techniques that I've shared just now, okay, all the tips that I've shared just now? So you look at the picture, okay, I believe you can see the characters, okay, you can digest or comprehend the situation there, okay, when you look at the tent, okay, perhaps that gives you a hint what these people are doing, okay. So let's take a look at how we describe this picture. Use the same technique, use the same step, okay, the situation, okay, perhaps these people, they are going on a trip, okay, a camping trip to be specific, because you can see that there's a tent in the picture. Okay, so who they go with? Remember the WH question, ask yourself that. Okay, so who are they going with? So they're going with friends, okay, in this case, 3 of them, okay, friends, okay, and then when does this happen? Okay, when does this action takes place? So at weekend, again, of course, during weekend, we have so many things that we can do with our friends and family because everyone is free, okay, at that time. So that is why weekend is the most chosen day, okay, out of all the 7 days, okay. So yeah, so we identify the situation already. Now look at the characters. As I said, you can make it personal or you can look at them as the from the third point of view. So if you make it personal, you can say my friends and I. If you want to name your friends, then you can do so. So you only need 2 names, okay, to name the characters. Or you can make them, you can look at them from the third point of view. You can say that, okay, these people are strangers to you, so you give them names, Siti, Meling and Pooja, for instance. So you identify the characters already. So this is the thing that you should do first, okay, when you get the picture. Although this is a series of pictures, you can still apply the same techniques, okay, the same tips in order for you to describe them well. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Now be specific. When you talk about place, okay, where it is, you cannot simply say we go on a camping at a camping site. As simple as that, okay. If you have more vocab, okay, and if you are aware of some good places for camping trip, you can actually give the name to the place. So for in this case, I choose Gunung Berembun, Cameron Highlands. Okay, this is out of my own experience as well. So like I said, if you have the experience, you can use your experience in describing these pictures. Why? Because it will be easier for you to do so, and it will be a lot. It will be specific. Okay, so people can understand. Oh, there is actually a place here that you can have a camping. Okay. That's what I mean by being specific. And then we can choose one, okay, so this time around I choose Saturday. Transport, yes, you can talk about transport. Why? Of course, when they are going for a trip, they will be using transport, whether they walk to the camping site, which is not usually the case, so we usually use bus or car. Okay, so you can mention that they go by bus or they go by cars or the parents send them there, okay, just to add details or be more specific about it. So how do they reach that place? How do they go to the camping trip? Okay, so make it specific. You can actually include that. So that's that. Okay, I have my details now. Okay, so add details. Look at the picture carefully. You can see that they are bringing, each and every one of them is carrying a backpack, okay, and then there's a tent. Of course, they're bringing that together when they go for a camping trip. So you can mention that in the details, okay. You can put there, okay, things that they brought, tent, backpack, food, of course, okay, when you go for a camping, you need food, okay, and the activities, you can actually add details, something that is not in the picture, but it is relevant to the situation. For instance, here, apart from setting up tent, I add something like build campfire, okay, and then they cook meal, okay, this is something that you do during a camping trip, so it is relevant, okay, it is relevant to the task. Yes, it is possible to do so, although they are not in the picture, okay, these activities are not in the pictures, you can actually add them. Like I said, add details which are relevant, and then it will make the story more interesting. So when I have my characters, I have the situation, what is going on, okay, they are going on a camping trip, and then I make it more specific, and I have my details already. Okay, last thing that I need to add will be feeling, okay. Of course, when you go on a camping trip, would you feel tired? Okay, not really. Most of the time you'll feel excited, okay, especially those who sign up for that, okay, so you will be excited. It will be something relaxing as well, of course, because usually when we have a camping, okay, when we have a camping trip, we go to somewhere near nature just to enjoy the tranquility. So it's very relaxing, it's very calm, okay, and of course, some other words, the common word used will be enjoyable, okay, it is something enjoyable because you're having fun with your friends, and then it is something memorable because throughout the camping trip, you know, you learn some of the skills, surviving skills, for instance, so that's the feelings that we say relevant to the pictures, okay, so you can add these feelings in. Remember, make it positive, okay, so that will cheer things up for you to describe the picture, to come up with a story, okay. Oh, sorry. Waalaikumsalam. Okay, no worry. Thank you for joining us, okay. Stay tuned, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Now, look at the picture. Okay. This is basically the things that are the product of the process just now. Okay. Remember the 5 steps just now? Yes, yes. Sorry?
Buka surat berapa?
Buka muka surat berapa? Alah, okay. Yang ni tak ada, I'm not referring to any books, okay, but you can look at the picture. I'll focus dekat screen sahaja. Boleh?
Okay.
Alright, thank you dear. Very good. Fokus dekat screen sahaja, okay? If you need to jot down notes, you can do so, okay, in your notebook, okay? This one tak ada refer to any textbook particularly, okay? But you can jot down notes, okay? Boleh ambil nota how to describe pictures, okay? Alright, thank you ya. Okay, so this is the product of the steps that I showed you just now, okay? The situation, okay, and then you add characters and also the action, and then you be more specific, and then you add some details, and then you add feelings. So this is basically what I come up with, the product. So again, I begin with last Saturday. Very simple. Okay, yeah, it sounds simple. Some might say that's very simple. Can I, begin with something more advanced? Okay, yes, you can do so if you have the vocabulary. Okay, not a problem. This is just something simple, something basic for you to start with. Okay, especially to those who are very nervous. Okay, so you panic. Okay, so this is the thing that you can use. Okay, not to worry. As long as you can score, okay, as long as you can describe the picture, not a problem. So yeah, you can start with last Saturday. Apply whatever that you have learned from writing paper, okay, writing skills. You can apply that in speaking skills as well. Just like the WH question just now. Okay, so this is how we describe this picture, the series of pictures. Okay, last Saturday, my friends and I went on a camping trip. Okay, we went to Gunung Berembun in Cameron Highlands. Okay, Mei-Ling and Pooja went there by bus, while my father drove me there. We brought along a tent and a backpack filled with our clothes, food and daily needs. When we arrived, we quickly set up our tent. Then we cooked our meals together. We even built a campfire at night and shared some funny stories. Okay, we had so much fun and it was a memorable camping trip. Okay, very simple. It is actually similar to when you write a story. Okay, like I said, they shared similar tips, okay, skills. But let's say if you said that this is too much for you to come up with. Okay, you cannot be more specific because you really have no ideas, or you've never been to any camping trip before, but you get this kind of picture. So you have no choice, okay, but to keep telling stories, okay, but because during the test, yes, you cannot ask for another, okay, picture. You cannot ask the interlocutor to change the task. It is not possible to do so. So you have to describe whatever that is given to you. So if that happens, what are you going to do? So this one is very proper because we follow the steps given, okay, because we can come up with ideas like this, or perhaps you can come up with something better, which is good, okay, you can describe it better, okay, that's not a problem. So what if you have no idea, you have you can just focus on the picture and you just can describe whatever that is in the picture, okay? Is it okay for you to do so? All right. Actually, yes, you can. Like I said, as long as you speak, as long as you describe the picture, okay, though you're not being detailed or you're not being very specific about it, that's okay, all right, as long as you speak. That's the thing about speaking test. We still award you marks if you speak, okay, if you talk about the picture. If you're talking about something else, then of course there will be no marks for that, of course, because that's not relevant to the task. But if you keep telling whatever that you see, okay, from the picture, yes, we can still give you marks, not to worry. So in this case, how to make it simple? Let's say if you have no idea, you have no other words, you can simply describe whatever that is there in the picture. Yes, you can do so. So how to do so? The simplest version will be, look at each picture. So you describe them one by one, okay, still describing them one by one, following the flow, okay. So remember, this one is the first picture, okay, this one is the second picture, this one is the third picture, and this one is the fourth picture, okay. Now, go to the first picture first. Okay, how many people are there in the picture? 3 characters. Okay, so what are they bringing? Bag or backpack. Okay, if you know the word backpack. So you can simply say, based on the picture, okay, based on the picture, I can see that there are 3 friends. Okay.
Teacher.
Yes.
Tengok kat skrin.
Sorry.
Tengok kat skrin tau.
Ya, tengok dekat skrin sayang. Okay, tengok dekat skrin. Nampak tak? Can you see that? Tengok dekat skrin. Okay, you can jot down notes if you want to. Okay. Alright, I will continue. Okay. Now, the simplest version just now, okay, so you can see that there are 3 friends, okay, in the picture. Okay, look at the screen, yeah, the 3 friends in the picture. The first picture, okay, so you can say, based on the picture, okay, or from the picture, I can see 3 friends, okay, holding a backpack or carrying a backpack. You can say that. Or as simple as, I see 3 friends, okay, bringing back with them, waiting for another friend to join, for instance. Yes, you can do so, not to worry. Like I said, as long as you speak, we still give you marks, we still award you marks. So you go to the next picture. So you only describe one, you come up with one utterance for one picture, that's good enough. So you say, the 3 friends are carrying a backpack, okay, and then they set up camp. You look at, they set up a tent. You look at the second picture. They set up a tent together. Okay? And then you look at the third picture. Their tent, they finished building up their tent or setting up their tent. Okay? They finished setting up their tent. They are very happy. In the last picture, they are very happy to continue with the camping trip. As simple as that. Yes, we award you marks. Some of you will go, what? As simple as that? Yeah, it can be as simple as that. But if you have vocabulary with you, a very wide range of vocabulary, please describe more. Okay? Because of course you'll get more marks for that. Okay? This is just something simple, something basic, just for you to get marks. At least 1 or 2 marks for each criteria just now that we've looked at earlier. So the 4 criteria, remember, at least you get band 1 or band 2 for that. Okay? That's that, okay, the simplest version. Remember, for the simplest version, 1 picture, 1 utterance. Okay, so like I did just now, you can do that as well. Okay, this one is for those with very limited vocabulary. Okay, so those with advanced vocabulary, I believe you can do better. Okay, now let's try something more challenging, shall we? So we need to look at something related to the PT3 format itself. Okay, so are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Alright. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Okay. Now, this one is PT3 based format. Okay. Part 2, long term. Yes. And of course, it's telling a story from a series of pictures. That's how I usually call it. I don't really use the term long term. I usually say it as describing pictures or telling stories, because it is easier for you to get the idea. Oh, there will be pictures, and that you will describe about the picture and come up with a story. So again, this is a series of pictures. This is based on the real PT3 format, okay, speaking test. So there are 5 pictures given. Very clear, not to worry, because you can have the picture with you during the test, of course. So you can actually look at it very carefully. You can look into the details, okay, you can add more. That would be better. Now that everything is on screen, you might be having a problem to view it better, but not to worry. Like I said, during the test, you will be able to actually hold on to that paper, okay, to look at the pictures carefully. Alright, so shall we start? Remember the step just now. Situation, look at the situation, the whole situation, identify their characters and what they are doing, okay, and then be specific, add details, and add your feelings, okay. So let's try. This one is a bit challenging because it's based on the real format, but hopefully, okay, when you use the tips or techniques given, okay, you will be able to answer this. So look at each picture carefully. We'll go through one by one. Okay, there are 5 pictures altogether. So the first picture, what is the situation? Okay, so you can see there's a calendar in the first picture, and then in the picture you can see that there's a circle on the 10th of May 2020 on Sunday. Okay, so it's actually Mother's Day. So there go your situation. It's a celebration. What it is? Mother's Day. So Mother's Day celebration, the date is given very specific, 10th of May 2020, and day Sunday. So that's from the first picture. So you get your situation already. See, like I said, it's quite clear. When it comes to the real test, everything will be clearer, not to worry. So this one you get the idea already, it's Mother's Day. So let's take a look at the second picture. So we have people there, the characters. Okay, so who are the characters? So you can say there are siblings. Of course, when you celebrate Mother's Day, you are celebrating your mother. So definitely these people are siblings. So make it personal. Like I said before, make it personal so that it's better for you to describe and come up with a story out of it. So the siblings will be the brother, little sister and I, for instance. Or if you want to be the brother, then little sister and my older sister, for instance, and I. Okay, so where are they sitting? Again, you can see there's a television in the picture. And there's a sofa set, so definitely a living room. Okay, what are they doing actually when it comes to celebrating Mother's Day? Okay, when they sit together like that, okay, somehow facing one another, of course there will be a discussion. So we can actually assume, okay, we can actually add details saying that they are discussing about gifts, perhaps. Okay, gift to be given to the mother. Okay, so when is it? You can pick any days you want, or you can simply say perhaps they are preparing for that celebration 2 days before Mother's Day. Yes, you can say that. Okay, so anyhow, as long as you describe, okay, you add details, it will be better for you. Okay, you can score better that way. So let's say if you don't want to put when, you just simply mention who in the picture and where they are. Fine. Okay, like I said, as long as you speak. Okay, so to those with a wide range of vocabulary, you can actually describe this better. Okay, so that's for picture 2. Now let's look at picture 3. So what are they doing again? Okay, and who and how? Okay, so in this case, what are they doing? We can see that they are actually sharing money from their savings. Okay, we can see that there's a broken piggy banks there. Okay, so they are sharing money, collecting monies, okay, from one another just to buy a gift for their mother. So here I used the question what, who and how. So I said they decided to buy flowers. Okay, once they discussed just now, okay, once they discussed everything, so they decided to buy flowers, a cake and a wishing card. Okay, where did I get this? Okay, from the other picture. Okay, because if you look at the whole series of pictures, you can see that actually in the 4th picture there's actually a flower. Okay, there's actually a bouquet of flowers that they buy. So that's how I assume that they buy flowers. Okay, a cake. Of course, when you have a celebration, usually you come up with a cake, or if you don't want that, then okay. If you decide to buy anything else, then that's okay. So this is just suggested answers. Okay, if you get this kind of picture. So they decided to buy flowers, a cake and a wishing card. Okay, so the brother suggested to share money from our savings, because yeah, it's clear in picture 3 that they are sharing money. So in this case, you can actually add details like how much did they get. So total around 200 ringgit. Okay, wow, lots of money there. Well, that's for your mother. Okay, we spend more for them, of course. Okay, so that's for picture 3. And then picture 4, wait, yeah. Okay, so for picture 4, like I said, okay, there's a picture of them, okay, perhaps going to buy flowers. So if you don't know the word, the specific word like florist, okay, or gift shops, you can simply say they go and buy a bouquet of flowers, or they go and buy some flowers. Okay, or you want to make it more specific, like I said, make it more specific, mention the type of flowers that they buy. So bought a bouquet of roses, okay, a wishing card, okay, and then a cake. Okay, so you can add this here. So mom loves roses. See, I add some details, though it is not there, I simply add it because of course we usually buy things that our mom likes. So in this case, mom loves roses, that's why we buy a bouquet of roses. You can do that. So you add another detail, bought her favorite chocolate cake, make it more specific, what kind of cake is that? Okay, if you have a better vocab, okay, or you have more advanced vocab to describe the cake, yes, you can make it more specific, like a velvet cake, okay, it's up to you. So this is just an example. And then you can also add another detail, like they went out while mom was away. So we went out to buy while mom was away, because it's a surprise, somewhat like that. So you can actually give that details, okay, you can add that details in this when describing this particular picture, okay, because that's how usually it is, right? So if you're familiar with this celebration, you know how it goes. So the last picture, of course, the surprise, okay. So mom, you guys surprised mom when she came home from work, okay, since she's away just now, okay. And then you gave her all the gifts, okay, and hugged her. Mom was happy, so you add feelings there. Okay, so this one is definitely based on our own experience, of course. So that is why I said when you make it more personal, okay, you make it more specific, it will be easier for you to describe the series of pictures, okay, because you have the idea already. Of course, it's a Mother's Day celebration. So when it comes to pictures or topic given to you, okay, during this test, not to worry, it is usually related to your daily life. Okay, something that you experience, okay. So even if they don't give you a Mother's Day celebration, they might give you something like Teacher's Day celebration, okay, or Merdeka celebration, something that you're familiar with. So don't worry too much. So this one is for those who have wide range of vocabulary, so you can come up with this. Like I said, it looks similar to how you write a simple essay about Mother's Day celebration. So here goes. Last Sunday, again I use last Sunday, okay, because it's simpler that way, okay. Last Sunday on the 10th of May, we celebrated Mother's Day. 2 days before the celebration, my brother and my younger sister and I had a discussion in the living room. We planned to buy some gift for our beloved mother. We decided to buy her some flowers, a cake and a wishing card. My brother suggested that we should share some of our savings to buy her the gifts. We managed to get a total of 200 ringgit out of our savings. On the day of the celebration, we went to a nearby florist to buy a bouquet of roses. Our mother loved roses. We also bought her favorite chocolate cake. Everything was done while mom was working. We surprised our mother the moment she came back from work. We gave her all the gifts and hugged her. She was so happy, saying that it was the best day of her life. So that's basically how it is when you go through the picture one by one and when you apply the techniques. So what if you don't have the word? You don't have enough vocabulary to describe it, okay? You can just simply look at a picture and describe it one by one. It's okay. Like I said, as long as you speak. So what you can do is, just like just now, the example just now, you can describe one picture, one utterance. Okay, that's the formula. So in the first picture, it's Mother's Day. So you can say, we are celebrating Mother's Day. Or you can start with, based on the picture or from the picture. Okay, based on the picture, okay, I can see that they are celebrating Mother's Day. Okay, look at the second picture. Okay, they are discussing about what to buy for their mother. The third picture, they share some money from their savings. The fourth picture, okay, they go to the nearby florist or they go to the shop to buy some flowers for their mother. The last picture, they give the flower and a wishing card to their mother. Their mother was happy. As simple as that, okay. So for those with very limited vocabulary, one picture, one utterance, or one picture, two utterances, it's up to you. As simple as that. Okay, so you describe each picture. As long as you go one by one from one picture to another, you will be fine. Okay, and again, as long as you speak, okay, you will get marks. Okay, we will award you marks, not to worry. Okay, so that's for today's lesson. Okay, so just a recap. Just now, from the very beginning, we look at the speaking test format. Okay, I've also explained to you the format, and I also show you the assessment scales. Okay, on what you will be tested on. Okay, what we are looking at when you go through this particular speaking paper, and then we've looked at some techniques and tips to describe a picture. And last but not least, we look at several samples just now, just for you to apply the techniques. So I really hope that whatever that I shared today, the techniques and also the tips, will be useful for you to use, especially for your speaking paper. You can also apply the same techniques for your writing, but today's focus is speaking for speaking paper, so I hope that it helps you a lot. Okay, so that's that, okay, for today's adventure, okay, for today's lesson. Thank you so much, people, for joining us today, both on via YouTube and also on Google Meet. I really appreciate you spending time with us. So I hope that my sharing is useful for you. So happy applying, everyone. Okay, we have come to the end of our session for today. So again, thank you everybody for joining. Hoping that it is a fruitful lesson for you. Okay. Thank you everyone. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Okay, bye bye everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.